John Wayne was once one of the biggest names in Hollywood. You couldn't think of westerns without thinking of him. His performances practically defined the genre. Born Marion Robert Morrison in Iowa, Wayne's family eventually settled in Glendale, California when he was a kid. Back then, he went by Duke, a nickname that stuck for life. In high school, Wayne was known for his athleticism and even scored a football scholarship to the University of Southern California. But then, an injury ended his sports dreams. So, in 1926, his football coach helped him land a job at Fox Film Corporation. He started off as a prop man and worked his way up to being an extra. That's when he met director John Ford. Ford took a liking to Wayne and gave him a small part herding geese in his 1928 film Mother Machree. He also introduced him to Raoul Walsh, who changed Wayne's name from Marion Morrison to John Wayne and gave him his first leading role in The Big Trail in 1930. Unfortunately, the film bombed. For the next several years, Wayne took whatever work he could get, starring in low-budget films while honing his craft and building the tough guy persona we all know him for. Then, in 1939, Ford cast Wayne in Stagecoach as the Ringo Kid, and that was the game changer. It kicked off Wayne's career in a big way, and he spent the next several decades as one of the biggest Western stars in the world, raking in millions. By the time John Wayne passed away, he'd built up a fortune of $7 million. That's about $173 million today. He had property in Arizona and Washington State, among other assets. While he did share his wealth with friends and family, he wasn't generous with just anyone. Wayne had been married 3 times and had 7 children, and his will made sure all of them were taken care of, some directly, others through trust funds, leaving them 5- and 6-figure sums. One of these trust funds provided his first wife with monthly checks for $3,000. Wayne's second wife died in 1961. However, his estranged third wife, Pilar Pete, was specifically excluded from the will. That's not as scandalous as it sounds, though. She and Wayne had already set up a financial separation agreement before his death. What's interesting, some of his property is unaccounted for, though some of his art and artifacts went to various organizations. And here's the juiciest part. His oldest daughter's husband, Donald LaCava, was completely shut out of the will. Not only was he left out, but Wayne made sure LaCava would never inherit his wife's share if she passed before him. We'll never know why Wayne specifically made this exclusion. He was a private enough person after all.